Hello everyone and welcome to CNET's coverage of the Google Pixel 3 event. My name is Jeff Bacalar and joining me for the next 14 hours or so in our studio here in New York is senior editor Bridget Carey and senior reporter Ben Fox-Rubin. Hello, hello.
Thanks for having us.
You're
I'm very
quite
excited.
welcome.
I have no idea what's going to be announced today.
Well, if you're like me, you also have no idea what's going to be announced today. We're going to be checking in with the host of Alphabet City, Ayaz Akhtar, who's live at the event in just a little bit. Now, if you want to be a part of our fine live show, hit us up on Twitter using the hashtag CNETLive. Okay, so genuinely, is anyone else as excited as I am to find out things we have no idea about at this Pixel event?
Man, you just are just beaming with excitement. Okay, obviously I said that because we know so much. It's been leaked upon leaks, and I mean, I would say it's not like you can buy it, but hey,
You
could
can buy it. If you live in China, you can buy it. I feel like it's kind of ridiculous how much has been leaked.
Well, let's talk about what's known with all the leaks so far, right?
Okay.
Okay, so we have photos we've seen. It's the Pixel 3 XL and the Pixel 3. You're looking at, what, a 6.3-inch display or so. And when it comes to it being sold, there was a store in Hong Kong that a reporter with Engadget went to go see it. So if you wanted to pay a premium, I suppose you could buy it early. But with it, it looked like everything that was rumored came true. The larger one has a notch. The smaller one doesn't have a notch. The mystery still, I think, is the price.
Yeah, that's like the only thing that hasn't been revealed just yet. That's like the only thing we don't know about when it comes to those two phones. But I'm not really, worried about that. These phones are usually expensive. They're going to be a lot of money. Maybe we'll be surprised as to how cheap it is.
Yeah, are we going to hit that $1,000 mark, or are they going to stand out because they're not going to go there? I mean, last year's the larger XL was about $850 right now you can get it for, and the Pixel 2 that started at like $650. So yeah, are they going to keep those prices, or are they going to go with Samsung and Apple and say, yeah, let's all have our $1,000 phones? I don't know if they're going to do that.
Ben Fox-Rubin, I want to ask you, is there anything that Google can do at an event that everybody knows exactly what is about to come out of their mouths?
Yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
What can they do?
Well, usually it's like feature sets or software that are a little bit harder to leak because it's not a physical product. So we saw like with Apple, they tend to ahead of an iPhone event, there are tons and tons of leaks that go on for months ahead of that. But I remember there was one Apple event where Super Mario Run was a really big deal. Everybody was like, oh my God, we had no idea this was coming. This is a cool new app from Nintendo. So at the very least, I guess I'd be looking for that. Then maybe they're going to have a Super Mario Run in their back pocket, but maybe that's expecting a little too much.
Or maybe it's a new camera feature with some special selfie effects.
Some Fortnite filter that you really want bad. It's going to make you buy a Pixel phone. All right, so we obviously know about the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3 XL. Let's talk about some of the other stuff. It sounds like they are going to be coming out with some kind of Google Home Hub, which would be a direct competitor to the Echo Show. You know all about the Echo Show. You cover Amazon for CNET. What do you think that would look like? How do you think that would do?
I'm still not sure that people are buying a lot of these products.
Right.
Like the Echo Dot and the Google Home Mini are the big standouts. And because they're really small and you can put them anywhere and they're $50 and they go on sale a lot. And I don't think that they've really convinced people quite yet that having much more expensive ones with a touchscreen on them and also that they have a camera is something that people really want. I mean, for you guys, is that something that you desperately want on your kitchen counter?
No.
Call grandma
It's
or
another-
whatever?
So the rumor is that it's not even going to have a camera.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Why even have it?
No, wait. Hear me out here.
Okay.
I think that would be interesting. We're at a time where you have people worried about, too much in their home, too much watching and listening going on, and maybe they could stand out. I mean, also, Facebook just came out with something that just does, video chatting. Although, if you're really into Google's ecosystem, yeah, you probably are using things to do Google, video chats and stuff. So it's either going to make you get really upset because it doesn't have something, or it may make you go, ooh, I don't have to worry about covering my camera up, and maybe you do want it, although there's still obviously voice commands, so there's still that.
Usually the solution is that you have this physical shutter. That's what Google did with their partners. There are a handful of other companies that provide these things called smart displays already. They were first announced at CES. And then Facebook also has this little shutter thing where they're like, okay, we know you don't really trust us, so here's a physical shutter to make sure that you know that we're not filming you when you don't want us to.
It's still a listening device.
Anyone
if you want to
inviting a
get
Facebook
paranoid.
camera into their home right now has really not been reading the news.
Well,
It wasn't a good
Google
look.
hasn't had a great week either with what's going on
like-
with Google Plus having to shut it down because of
Totally, and I agree. It's a bad look. Nobody uses Google Plus. They shouldn't
No
have.
one
They
did,
shouldn't have
but-
closed. They shouldn't have kept back. Withheld the information that they were. They had data exploited for sure. But I mean, do you know anybody on Google Plus?
No, and people who like Google products aren't going to really probably care about with the news. But if anything, it's just weird to be like, "Hi guys, this news just happened, and please invite us into your home even more." It's just a little. It's just an awkward kind of.
I mean, right now I
cycle.
trust Google more than Facebook. I think.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I
I know it's like the lesser of two evils. But anyway, we're all Google fans here today, aren't we? All right. So talk more about. So we're going to get maybe their first tablet, right? We might get something called
Chrome tablet.
The Chrome
Chrome OS
tablet,
tablet.
Chrome OS. Supposedly it's called the Pixel Slate, and it will have a fold-out keyboard maybe as a secondary accessory.
Kind of like how Surface works, where you
Right.
can just like attach the keyboard, or even you could go as far as to say it's an iPad Pro competitor also.
Yeah. So I'm not terribly fluent in Chrome OS. I don't know if you guys are, but is that something that could be appealing? Maybe if the price is right. How do you feel about that?
Oh, it's got to be really cheap, I think.
Yeah.
For it
Something
to be
like an Amazon. Like Amazon tablets are like $39. Right? I feel
like
They-
at least 50
They
or
pay
something.
you
Yeah.
$15 to
Yeah.
get the tablet.
So,
No, the Chrome OS is their big selling point in general for their laptops is that they're really cheap. They've been really successful in schools, and that's why a lot of schools have been moving away from Apple products and doing a lot with Chrome OS. So maybe that's a good play for them to do the Pixel Slate. So we'll see if that's the direction that they go in. If this is the first Chrome OS tablet, then I would expect a lot of partners to start doing tablets too. So look out for that.
Absolutely, agree with you on the schools would be interested side and students. And also, there's a rumor this could have a fingerprint reader.
Okay.
That would make it the first Chrome device with something like that. So
Okay.
interesting if they can get it to be cheap and also have that good biometric security.
all right. Is there anything else that we already know about? I mean, I know we're doing our best to act surprised, but we kind of have an idea of what everything is going to be called, what every single product that's going to be released. I mean, it is downright ridiculous how much of this Google stuff has leaked out. Let's talk about that notch real quick on the Pixel 3 XL. I feel like that is something that I really can't wrap my head around. I think it comes off kind of like a snaggletooth. It is an exaggerated notch.
You're not notch.
I am
You're not-
anti-notch. Can you guys just give me a
Look,
real quick take on that?
I'm a little disappointed in Google that they didn't decide to go in a different direction. They obviously
A
don't
notchless
have,
direction?
Well,
Yeah.
well, the normal Pixel, doesn't look like it has it.
Right.
This is for the larger one.
Right.
Okay, so my point is a larger one, where the first year that they came out with the Pixel, they said, guess what, Apple got rid of the headphone jack, but we're gonna keep it and we're gonna put it in our sizzle reel, and if you want a headphone jack, come to Google. And they're not a big player in smartphones. If you have a smartphone, more often than not, you have an Apple phone or a Samsung phone.
Yeah.
So for them, they should try to differentiate. They should try to do something a little different. Instead, they got rid of the headphone jack. They're doing the notch thing. What exactly are they doing that's actually different?
Yeah, pave your own way. I mean, come on. God, look at all the insightful comments
I'm amazing.
from BFR.
I'm an
I love
amazing
it.
man.
We have Ayaz Akhtar on the line, who is at the Google event. What's up, Ayaz?
Are you saying that Google wants to do something different? I will say that the mood here is very, very subdued. You can look around and see the blandness of the arena. It's pretty
It looks
white
like you're.
and beige.
It looks like you're in a classroom.
Yeah, well, I also wouldn't want to go to a movie if I knew every last piece of the plot and how it's going to end. I mean, who the hell
Yeah,
wants to go do that?
It's definitely an interesting vibe today. Scott and I were discussing it earlier. subdued or tranquil, either trying to get us very calm, maybe setting expectations for what we think we know about the Pixel 3 and the 3 XL, because if those two devices were leaked and they were like completely planted, that'd be amazing. But I wouldn't expect that to be the case.
That would be the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That would be some
if like
really cool
Google did this
psyops.
crazy like gag, this bait and switch where they just planted all this stuff because it seems fake. That's how ridiculous it got with all of the leaks. Aya, so back to that whole idea, like, what do you do at an event if you're Google where everyone already knows what you have up your sleeve? Like, what do you think they can do? I mean, I realize you can't just invent a product at the last minute. But do you think there's going to be any kind of surprise whatsoever? I know it's a ridiculous question, but what do you think?
I would think not. I think what they're trying to do is to focus their attention on their camera stuff. I'm flipping the camera now to show you the stage. And on the stage, they have a bunch of photos which seem to be shot by the Pixel. What they might want to do is say that their camera is the greatest camera of all time, even though it may be a single lens device. So that would be the only way to really surprise people, is to have maybe something on the software side. Maybe there's some assistant improvements that change the way the camera is used. But otherwise, hardware-wise, I cannot imagine a surprise popping up this late.
And how do you feel about the other stuff that they're probably going to announce, the Slate and the Google Home Hub? I mean, is there any sort of like, besides, I guess, the pricing for all this stuff is something we still don't know about. Is there anything in terms of what those products are looking like that you're really, interested in seeing? Oh, maybe they'll do this with that. I know, again, we're really grasping at straws here.
Like, yeah, we saw what the jigsaw puzzle looks like already. Why bother doing it? But
right.
When it comes to the Google Home Hub, that rumored device that's a smart display, we've already seen that kind of thing from Lenovo and JBL. But with improvements to Google Assistant, now it seems like a touchscreen interface makes more sense for one of these devices and much more visual. So I don't know if people get excited about the Home Hub. Maybe that'll be something that's big. There was that rumored Chromecast, which I know everybody over there is excited about, because Chromecast, third gen, no, you can't even feign excitement for that one either. It's just a lot of iterative products, right? They're trying to build a ecosystem of hardware, and they're doing it slowly. If anything, what might be the most interesting about this is, I believe this is the first time that Google's designing their hardware in-house. They bought the HTC engineers and a lot of talent from HTC, and previously they had farmed it out to other companies. So maybe with improved control, they have a different set of hardware standards, but we'll have to see what that looks like.
That's interesting. I mean, look, like, I'm genuinely interested in Chromecast, but for me, I use it more as a software technology thing than I do as a hardware thing, because basically everything I own, surprised to find out that, it's got Chromecast built into it. So it's really not something that I necessarily, look for as a standalone product. But I realize it's good for retrofitting stuff that maybe doesn't have that kind of technology built in. What do you guys think? Do you have anything else you want to ask Ayaz while we have him on the line?
They have good breakfast over there?
Yeah, what's that shake situation like? I heard there's like a serious shake situation.
Okay, the shake stuff looked good. I saw a lot of empty glasses. They were very short glasses. Apparently the breakfast pastries, not so good. So again, I think they're setting expectations. It's going to be planned, but it's going to be there.
I mean, look, that's the one thing we didn't know was going to happen at this event. So, I mean, you got to give them credit there.
Also, what are those goofy-looking structures in the middle of the audience? Like, those look like
Those
giant...
are just people. Those are people.
Oh, okay.
Those are tech reporters.
Circular items down here,
Yes.
they're just essentially barriers to separate people. That's it.
That's it?
But they look like Google Home things?
You can't just scan your palm there for something cool to happen? Is that not what it's for?
You talk to like Jor-El.
Yes, great idea.
We'll put my hand on it. Let's see if you can see that. It feels like a speaker grill, but feels like cardboard underneath. So I don't think it does anything. I can put my thumb on it.
There might be, there's probably Google Pixels in there, so just keep your eye on it. They're just going to give them all out to the people in attendance there. Get me one of those.
Sure, I'll bring one back. No problem. I'll just carry it on my back. Should only weigh about 50, 60 pounds.
So Ayaz, you're the host of Alphabet City. You're obviously personally invested and interested in this event. For you, what are you most looking forward to in terms of like confirmation of something happening? I don't know if you have a Pixel phone, but knowing what we know about the Pixel 3 and 3 XL, is that something you would consider?
I would consider the 3 XL depending on how the screen technology is. Last year, I had the Pixel 2 XL for a short time. I could not get over the OLED issues. They used LG to produce the screen on that, and it had some weird grittiness to it, some blue filter light issues. It was kind of a mess. I've had the original Pixel, the 2 XL, and I switched to a Note because the display technology was superior. I liked it a lot more. So the big thing that always pulls me back to the Pixel, even when I've chosen a device, is the updates. You always get the latest version of Android. And as we know on Samsung, not exactly something that happens very quickly. So that, I think, is still a big draw, that from day one of a release of an update, you get it on the Pixel. So as long as that continues, and there's no reason why that wouldn't, that could probably pull me back, assuming the 3 XL looks nothing like what we saw.
Yeah, I have a Pixel 2 XL, and you're totally right. They don't lean into the idea of like you being in this club. And I hate to like make it this sort of like exclusatory sort of thing, but like that's what it is. Like you get the updates first, you get all the cool junk first. So I definitely think that's something that people are psyched about. I don't know if it's necessarily enough for someone to jump from iOS, but I mean, you did this, right?
Yes, and admittedly, it wasn't that easy.
You went from iOS to Android.
I did, and it was a tough 2 weeks. Let's say that.
You poor thing.
I know. Look, I had to walk, 10,000 miles through the desert. It was really difficult.
I mean, Ayaz, what do you think about that? Maybe this is an opportunity for them to sort of say, hey, we know you know what this phone is, but maybe let's talk a little bit more about the perks of actually owning a Pixel, because ultimately they do want people to swap sides.
Yeah, that should be a very strong point they should emphasize, because if the hardware is the hardware we saw, well, there's not much to say about it. But then again, we're in a bit of a tech bubble, right? We all seen this stuff a lot. Like I do Alphabet City, so I've seen every single rumor possible about this. So they still have to introduce the phone to the general public as something worthwhile to them. And then they need to push, because the people that pick a Pixel, it's fun to say, they are making a decision about their devices. So it's this kind of introduce to the world what the Pixel 3 is, and then explain, hey, it's actually pretty cool to be on this side.
Yeah, they're making a decision. They're making the decision to say, look, I realize all of my friends are going to get my text messages as a green bubble. And they're going to think I'm weird. And they're going to be like, who's this one guy who's not using iMessage? What is this? How come you're talking to me? Is this, you have some sort of alien phone? And you say, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Pixel phones are really good. You're just a sheep like everyone else. Bah. Okay? So, all right, Ayaz.
That's how Pixel people keep friends.
Right, exactly. I pick my friends based on their cell phone. Ayaz Akhtar, thank you so very much. Enjoy
Thank you, guys.
What you already know is going to happen at the Pixel event, and we will also try and act surprised here in the office. We'll keep you proud. Thanks so much, Ayaz. Oh man, it's tough to stay surprised when you know what's going to happen, but I really feel like that's the thing they can do. They need that this event can accomplish is the pivot from like, okay, we're not going to talk about the 500-pound gorilla in the room. Everyone knows what we're going to do, but instead maybe make the case for owning a Pixel phone and why that's a cool thing.
And make the case for having, like, living that Google life, right? Because it's going to be more than just a phone. And they're going to talk about all the different ways to stream things and have a hub. And in fact, we're talking about a lot of leaks on the phone. We didn't talk about the Chromecast and how that also was already on sale by accident.
How does that happen?
At Best Buy and at Walmart.
Like, how does it come off the truck and Best Buy opens it up? It probably says all over the box, do not open till October 9th. Do not. And someone's just like, scan this and sell it because it's time. So,
all right. I don't know if, Brian, you can go to my screen. Over at Reddit, there was already an image of someone who bought it because someone at a Best Buy did put it on display. He goes to check out, and they're like, oh, that's funny. It's not scanning. Here, let me just charge you for an older version of the Chromecast in the system.
Man.
So in his photo he took back at home, you can see the new one next to the older model, and it looks like this new one is obviously matte. And if you look
Oh,
at...
I can't even tell the difference.
Yeah,
from
one's a little
my same
shiny.
here.
You can see the little shine on the right side.
I'll take your word for it.
But looking at, okay, what do we know from the rumors? Seems that maybe with rumors, this might be a small upgrade. Like we're talking Bluetooth might be added, so you have the ability to use headphones. Nothing really big, but still funny that you could have accidentally bought it before it's even announced.
Pretend for a second that I don't know the feature set of the original Chromecast. Just pretend. Is it 4K? Can it do 4K?
I have to get my...
Oh, you're pretending as well. Ben, do you
get
know?
my notes out. There's a lot
Do you
here.
know? Why don't you know this?
What? With
Oh,
a
because
Chromecast?
Amazon doesn't make it, so you don't pay attention?
I mean, technically, I use a Roku, but yeah.
I use Roku too. You know why? Because you can't get everything on the Chromecast. I mean,
You can't, but you can get a lot.
well, I subscribe also to Amazon, so I want to be able to get
Sure,
everything,
sure,
and
sure,
that
sure.
was always the thing with Roku.
Did you find out? Is it?
I'll get back to you.
Okay, you'll get back
It
to me.
probably
back
has
to
4K.
But
they all do. What?
Yes, the new one will definitely be 4K.
Come on.
But I feel like there's a Chromecast Ultra, and that's what I feel like is the 4K one. Maybe the original doesn't
There's
do that.
not a whole lot that you could do with these streaming players. I mean, like my Roku is a couple of years old. I think Roku just came out with new stuff
They
recently.
did.
yeah.
What's going to get me to buy a new one? It works. I didn't buy a new television.
Well, it was a big deal when it came out because of how cheap it was.
Yeah, that's the
and
thing,
that
like-
was like a $30. Oh my gosh, I have to go grab it. So I'm sure they'll try to.
Like,
hook
for
you
me,
You know
up.
like-
it's cheaper than $30?
$20.
The one I already have.
Oh, yeah, of
So,
course.
like, tell me what they're going to do with this
Ben.
Chromecast
Well,
that's
so-
going to be really that different.
I mean, there is, you talk about like minor updates. The sort of hardware inside could be a little faster, a little zippier. Like that's kind of what happens when new Rokus come out. They get a little quicker. The menus respond a little peppier, and that's important. I mean, if you're
Sure.
using a 4-year-old Roku, which I was staying over at a friend's house a couple of months
could feel-
ago.
you could
You're
feel
like,
it
oh,
different."
this thing's struggling. Ugh. You're like hitting the thing, and then you got to wait 10 seconds for it to catch up. Like, you need a new one
That's
of these
fair.
things every now and then.
That's true. That's
You know
true.
what I mean? And now that they do 4K and for cheap, that's a win.
Maybe you don't need a new one every year, but yeah,
You do
it's a
not
good
need
point.
a new
It's a
Roku
good
every
point.
year.
I was also going to be interested to see how this home hub situation, how that is advertised to play with video, right?
Right.
Because as we know with Amazon, you can't really get YouTube on there. Is Google going to kind of, talk a lot about that or make it more of a, no, this is just for notifications and controlling the smart home? I just want to see where they're pushing for the use case
Good
there.
point on
I think it's
that.
lame it doesn't have a camera. What were you
So
going to say?
with YouTube, actually, the new Echo Show and the old Echo Show are both going to get YouTube because they're going to.
They're going to get
They will be getting YouTube. Yes,
the app,
because
or like you have to go on like a browser?
yes, they're adding browsers into it, and with the browser, you'll be able to go
Ah.
anywhere you want to on the web, including YouTube. So it is a
World Wide
workaround.
Web. Okay.
It is a workaround, but at the same time, that is something that's been a big limitation to the Echo Show.
Here's an impossible question for you. What's the future of voice assistants going to look like? I'm done with this with Google Assistant and Alexa going like when are they just going to bury the hatchet and become like one thing? Is that even a possibility? Because right now my house is like 70% Google and 30% Alexa. I mean, I don't want to live like this anymore. So
It is.
Why can't they
It's
be
a
friends?
good question. Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is-
like, it's a serious question. Like, when is the dust going to settle? Like, do we have to live in this period of transition forever? Like,
It is a good old-fashioned ecosystem and standards battle at this point, and it looks like Amazon and Google are the two pillars at this
Right.
point. Microsoft, they basically decided to, throw their hands up in the air, and they said we're going to work with the Alexa
Yeah,
folks.
that was the right move.
So Alexa and Cortana now work together. We'll see what Samsung decides to do. Obviously, Apple goes in its own direction, but are Alexa and Google Assistant ever going to do a kumbaya moment and start working together? Not anytime soon. There's a lot more room to grow. I mean, like,
They are
we
mortal
have
enemies.
voice assistants.
I mean, they're mortal enemies. Amazon's a search engine in itself,
I realize that, but I don't know. Like, now you can put that Amazon thing in your car, and it's like, well, what if your cars come with iOS or they come with Google Auto, right? Like, so what? I don't know. It just seems like a real big pain in the ass, and I don't like pains in the ass.
Consumers are probably going to ask for it at some point, but I don't anticipate something like that happening for at least the next couple of years because there's still a ton more runway. There are still a lot of people that don't use voice assistants at all. So these guys are still trying to gobble up customers.
I like what Google's doing with their sort of transition into being a voice command hybrid with touch as well. Like I enjoy the fact that like not everything needs to be voice. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you use your voice to bring up something on your phone and then you're presented with a slider or a button. Not every single thing, and I think they're learning that slowly but surely that the way we communicate with products through our voice is not only exclusively, it shouldn't only exclusively be voice. I think there's like a weird sort of gray area where they're kind of learning and feeling out their way.
Now it's going to start soon, but before it does, I did want to throw to see who is using hashtag
Yeah,
CNET
let's see.
Live.
We have a Twitter thing.
Because we do have some questions that are coming
Oh,
in.
great.
If you want to quickly get your question or comment in, use the hashtag CNET Live on Twitter. All right, so Connor Roy, do you think it's worth it to switch from an iPhone to a Pixel 3? Oh, the big jump.
Connor with the real
And what iPhone do you
real
have too?
cutting right to the chase with those
Yeah.
questions.
I mean, like, that's what people want to
Yeah,
know.
it's
Yeah.
totally preference. Like, I mean,
If your life is already in Google email and all the Google services, that's the case they're going to have to make today. Like, oh, well, could things be easier? Right, if I only had one assistant to talk to, and if I already have a Google Home,
it's not necessarily a decision we can make for you, okay? Look at Ben Fox Rubin, okay? Just look at it. He did it. If that dude can do it, you can do it,
Why-
Connor.
don't be sad.
He's totally capable dude, right? You said it only took, 2 months to get used to? How long?
It does take a little bit of like searching around to figure out how to transfer
But-
this thing over and that thing over. Once you're done, it's fine. It's not that difficult.
You're okay now. You came out the
I'm
other
okay.
side in one piece.
I'm okay. I'm a normal person now. I'm not.
Well,
I'm not a transitionary
Well,
guy.
let's help Connor really wrap his head around this. What was the toughest thing making that transition? What was the hardest thing for you to overcome?
Switching over my music library, and I did it.
What? You have
I
a
did
music
it.
library?
Yeah.
Was it on your iPod?
It was right. It was on my iPod. No, I switched over the music library and then
Yeah.
immediately never used it again.
Right.
So because I use Spotify. So
Yeah.
if that's really if you're already streaming your music, then that shouldn't be a problem at all for you.
I just love talking to you about this because I don't know that many people that switch from iOS to Android. I feel like if anything, you go the other way these days, or maybe not. I don't know. What do you like the most about switching to Android?
I mean, to me, the price just made a lot more sense.
The price
So,
of an
yes.
Android phone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I got an S8 for $400, and Apple keeps charging people more money. So every single
They
time
are,
they have,
in fact, raising their prices.
right. So every single time they have an iPhone event, I feel smarter. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, that's $1,000. That's $1,200. I'm glad I stuck with this thing.
So you're just like, look at all these suckers paying, what they're paying for. Price
said
keeps
that.
going up.
You said that,
No,
not
look,
me. But yes.
Apple makes great stuff. I use Apple products every single day. I don't hate or or love one brand more than another. Personally, I use an Android phone because it's better. I mean, look, I don't pick sides. Bridget, I know you're an iOS
Yeah.
loyal person. How do you feel about this? do you
Well-
feel like you're
well,
in enemy territory?
No, I don't, because I honestly would like some more. I think Google puts a fire under Apple to do some things differently. I am
And
too
vice
lazy.
versa.
I'm too lazy to switch. That said, usually when it comes to like apps, they always came out for a while. Like they were always iPhone first. And now that's not really feel like the case anymore.
Yeah. It still happens, but less often.
Yeah. We have a couple other things.
Okay, yeah, let's get to the tweets.
Fred Wood is asking, basically, is Google going to reference the fact that everyone knows what the Pixel 3 is already?
So an over-under is not really the right betting terminology for this because over-under is like a total amount of points. I think that maybe like the money line. What's the
Yeah.
money line on Google being self-aware about the?
They were
I would say
self-aware
it's-
on Twitter. I don't know
I
if
would
you
say
saw
the money
that.
line for that is like minus 800, meaning they're obviously going to bring it up, right?
Well, the question is are they going to start with like a mea culpa about Google Plus first? So like, what exactly are they going to bring up
I don't think
first?
they're going to bring up Google
They're
Plus.
not
Do you,
gonna-
you think they're going to leave this thing out like, hey everyone, thanks for coming in. Boy, did we F up yesterday, let me tell you. Let's see what they say. We're going to go to the live stream right now. When it's over, come right back here and we'll have reactions.
Yes.
Enjoy the press conference. We know what's going to happen.
The Pixel can't stop leaking.
We pretty much know everything there is to know about a Pixel 3 as well as the Pixel 3 XL.
We have a very clear image now of this Pixel 3.
We know pretty much everything about it.
No matter how hard you try, you literally can't get anything past the internet.
Help, I need somebody. Help, not just anybody. Help, you know I need someone. Help. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. But now these days are gone, I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind. I've opened up the doors. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being loud. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me? But now these days are gone, I'm not so self-assured. I know I find I've changed my mind. I've opened up the doors. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being round. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me, help me, help me. Ooh.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Great to see you all here. You're going to hear a lot more about help today. I'm so glad you've joined us. We're shaking things up a little bit with a new venue, some new faces, and a new city. Special welcome to our friends in the media. We've also invited some of our top sales associates from Verizon and TELUS. Welcome. Yeah, that's right. For you out-of-towners, thanks so much for coming here to New York City to be with us. So this year marks Google's 20th anniversary. And for 2 decades, we've been working towards our mission of helping to organize the world's information, make it more accessible and helpful for everybody. Delivering information has always been in our DNA. It's why we exist. We love working on really hard problems that make life easier for people in big and small ways. And I wanted to tell you a couple stories about what I mean about this. So even after 2 decades, we're constantly working to shave as many milliseconds as possible off of our search times. That focus has caused us to push into a bunch of new areas. We designed our own servers. We designed an operating system to run our data centers. All of this so you could find search results faster. But if we're really going to help people, we need to make sure we provide the most relevant search results. And we can only do that if we know what people are asking for. So we set out to understand the nuances of language and the intent behind the words. As we progressed on that, we realized that we could help with translation too. That's led us down a path of developing completely new technologies, software, hardware, and the AI that underlies it all. And now we're translating 143 billion words every day in more than 100 languages. And now more people can say what they want to say to each other. Beautiful, hello, thank you. These are 3 of the most requested words in every language. And with speech recognition as good as it is, we can roll out voice interactions across our hardware devices so your devices understand you when you talk to them. We can lessen the pain of responding to emails by suggesting quick responses And Smart Compose in Gmail even offers to finish your sentences as you type. It can suggest relevant, contextual phrases and cut back on repetitive typing, like addresses. Smart Compose is already saving people 1 billion characters of typing each week, and it's coming to mobile first with Pixel. So with our improvements in language, the Google Assistant is much better at getting things done for you, like booking a restaurant reservation over the phone. That's our duplex technology you saw earlier this year. These incredible technologies you'll hear about today are built on this 20-year history of making information more accessible and helpful for people. This is also true of our work in imaging. Many of you in this room say last year's Pixel 2 still takes the best pictures, even in a year with so many amazing flagship phones. That's not a fluke. Pixel's camera completely rethinks how images are captured, and we can trace that intelligence directly back to Google search. We noticed very early on that people were using Google to search for images, even though our results weren't perfect back then, because we were looking at meta tags, we were looking at surrounding text, and that was just really a workaround. But what we really needed to do was look at the images themselves. So we spent years researching computer vision technologies, analyzing hundreds of millions of photos, and now we're getting better all the time at recognizing objects and faces and even concepts within an image or a scene. And we have all kinds of ways to put this technology to work for you. Like right now, you can search through your photo library, so pictures are accessible wherever you are without any work from you. And we can help take a stunning portrait photo just like you would with a DSLR. And we can smooth out shakiness in your videos. You can also point your camera at a movie poster, get local theater listings, maybe even look up an actor's bio. And we've invented a new type of camera, put it on a fleet of cars, and then drove those cars all over the world to give you a detailed map of the world. So from searching, to translating, to getting a great photo of the world, when we see an opportunity to help people, we go the extra mile. Our deep investment in AI over many years is at the core of our ability to push forward in many areas at once. And you're going to see this in a lot of our products today. I say this every year, but the big breakthroughs you're going to see are not in hardware alone. They come at the intersection of AI, software, and hardware working together. This approach is what makes Google's hardware experience so unique, and it unlocks all kinds of helpful benefits. When we think about artificial intelligence in a consumer hardware context, it isn't artificial at all. It's helping you get real things done every day. A shorter route to work, a gorgeous vacation photo, a more efficient home. Our guiding principle here is exactly the same as it's been for 20 years, to respect our users and to put them first. And that guides our work in 3 very specific ways. First, we want to respect each user as an individual and provide them with their own personal Google. Just as Google is organizing the world's information, we can combine AI, software, and hardware to organize your information. Your experience and the help we provide you is unique to you. The Google Assistant is the best expression of this, and it's always available to help provide help when and where you need it. Second, we're committed to the security of our users. We need to offer simple, powerful ways to safeguard your devices. One way we do this is at the OS level. Google Play Protect is the most widely deployed mobile threat protection service in the world, and it constantly works in the background to keep your devices and data safe. We've also integrated Titan Security, the system we built for Google data centers, into our mobile devices with a new dedicated chip. Titan Security protects your most sensitive on-device data by securing your lock screen and strengthening disk encryption. And it also even protects the integrity of the operating system itself. By combining tightened security both in the data center and on device, we've created a closed loop for your data across the Google ecosystem. We know people want to hear a lot about this, so you'll be hearing more about it throughout the day. A vital third theme of ours: we want to make sure that you're in control of your digital well-being. From our research, 72% of users are concerned about the amount of time they spend using tech, and we absolutely share that concern. So we've developed new tools that let you control your devices instead of those devices controlling you. We're introducing new, simple ways to cut down on notifications and distractions. We can help you understand the amount of time you're spending with different applications and set app limits so you can switch them off when you want to. And we're providing parents with simple controls over screen time with the family. We feel a deep responsibility to our users to provide a helpful, personal Google experience while keeping their information secure and making sure they're in control of their digital well-being. These things really matter to our users, and it shows in their response to our products. The enthusiasm has been absolutely great this year. Our Google Home devices are expanding into more countries and more homes. Our daily active users have grown by 5x in the past year alone. And test after test concludes that Google Home is the most accurate and most helpful home assistant device. It does the best job of filtering out background noises and understanding different people's voices. And it now offers help in multilingual homes. Pixelbook has had a huge year as well. The Verge said, Pixelbook is stellar. It's elegant, sturdy, fast, and smartly designed. And both Pixelbook owners and a lot of you tech reviewers gave it the edge over other premium laptops for its speedy performance and innovative design. And we're just getting started here. And what a year for Pixel 2. A couple months ago, Wired named it the best smartphone money can buy in 2018. That's as good as it gets, especially in a year with so many great flagship phones. Plus, the Pixel experience keeps getting better over time as we've rolled out a number of helpful updates. The UI is improved, the colors are deeper, the phone is just all around more helpful than when it first came out. We're really proud of the progress we've made across the whole Made by Google family, but you probably don't want to hear too much more about last year's products. So let's talk about what we've been working on. So first, for Life on the Go, we designed the world's best camera and put it in the world's most helpful phone, introducing the beautiful new Pixel 3. And for Life at Home, we designed, for Life at Work and at Play, we're bringing the power and productivity of a desktop to a gorgeous tablet called Pixel Slate. And for Life at Home, we designed a smart display so you can hear and see the info you need and manage your connected home from a single screen. Introducing Google Home Hub. And here they are, coming up here in the pedestals for the first time, seen in real life. Go ahead, you can take a couple photos if you'd like. Try not to knock them over, because if you break it, you have to buy it. Give you about 30 seconds or so. I gotta get a shot of these. These look great. Wow. Okay, all right, we can start to put them away. Don't worry, everyone, you'll get more time with them in the demo area. Are you trying to take one out of there? I would too. But please don't. Oh, I think they look great. They look great, right? Well, let's talk about the design, because I think the design of this year's products are absolutely terrific. Just last month, Fast Company named Google the Design Company of the Year for our efforts in both hardware and software design. We've seen incredible progress in material design, our adaptable open source system of guidelines, tools, and components that support the best practices of user interface design. And this has resulted in some truly beautiful evolutions of the applications you know and love. And this year's new devices fit perfectly with the rest of the family. That's due to the amazing Ivy Ross and her wonderful design team. They've really, yes. They've really pushed us to think about how technology can be designed for the way you live today. And the design world has taken notice. Over the past year, Made by Google products have won more than 45 of the design industry's top awards. Ivy's going to give us a rare peek into her design studio and share some of the details about her team's philosophy and approach. Let's take a look.
People think aesthetics is making something pretty, and it's really not. I mean, aesthetics is about igniting our senses. I think we're all craving that a little bit. What is the design language for Google? Bold and optimistic, human in our forms, and our colors, and our shapes. As technology progresses, it needs to be closer to us. Soft circles and curves evoke something natural and familiar. How that language shows up will evolve over time. I think technology has to fit into place. It will eventually be invisible. The design challenge is to make that transition smooth and beautiful. Our job is to figure out what it feels like to hold Google in your hand.
So cool. So cool. Some of the best examples of the amazing work that Ivy and her team have been doing is in the most important place in your life, your home. Fast Company named Google Home Mini the most innovative product design of 2018. And consumers love it too, as it extends access to the Assistant in more places throughout the home. With Google Wi-Fi, we're using mesh networking and AI to extend your home Wi-Fi network. Google Wi-Fi is still the #1 router, and it's the simplest way to make sure that your connection speed is good and your home network is well managed. You might have heard that we're bringing together Google and Nest so we can solve deeper problems in managing people's homes. The right way to do this is to start with the basics. The smart home of 2018 is too complex with siloed technologies and interfaces. Your smart home really doesn't seem too smart when you can't figure out how to turn on the lights or set your home security system. So together with Nest, we're pursuing our shared vision of a thoughtful home that isn't just smart, but it's helpful and simple enough for everyone to set up and use. Nest defined the thoughtful home with the Nest Learning Thermostat, which is the #1 product in its space. And it's helped save over 25 billion kilowatt hours of energy. Nest also has the top-rated products in connected security cameras, smoke alarms, and doorbells. So working together, Google and Nest can shape how these technologies come together for a more helpful, thoughtful home. To show you what that means, let me bring Dia out to talk a little bit more about the newest addition to the Google Home family. Dia?
Thanks, Rick. Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for being here today. Let me tell you about how we've reimagined Google for the home. 2 years ago, we launched Google Home with the goal of helping you and your family simplify the hectic moments in your life. And we've seen that this is striking a chord with our users. The number of queries on Google Home has gone up by over 400% in just the last year. But now, imagine not only being able to hear a response back when you ask Google Assistant a question, but imagine being able to see a response back. That is the power of Google Home Hub. With Google Home Hub, we've redesigned Google's most helpful services like Search, YouTube, Maps, Calendar, and Photos, so they're easily controllable with your voice and provide glanceable help. Today, all of us use many different display devices in our homes, like phones, laptops, and even tablets. But none of these were developed with the goal of helping you and your family in your home environment. That is why we built Google Home Hub. We obsessed about what a display designed specifically for your home should do. How should it interact with you and your family? What kind of help should it provide? How should it look in any room? So we spent countless hours on the design of Hub. We incorporated soft rounded corners and premium materials, including our own custom fabrics. You can also choose from 4 beautiful colors to complement any room. The elegant floating display is big enough so that you can see things even from across the room, but it's small enough to fit in any space in your home. We also consciously did not put a camera on Hub, so that it was comfortable to use in the private spaces of your home, like your bedroom. We wanted to make sure that Hub is not a bright glowing screen in your home. So we made sure that Hub can respond automatically to the ambient light in the room. To do this, we developed a feature called Ambient EQ. With Ambient EQ, we take a dedicated sensor and combine it with our own imaging algorithms so that we can fine-tune the brightness and color of the display. So now, Hub can respond automatically to the bright white tones of natural light that you get during the day, and then gradually shift into the oranges and yellows of your indoor lights in the evening. You can feel the magic of Ambient EQ when you look at your photos on Hub. And of course, Hub automatically turns its screen off at night. So now, no matter what time of day, which room, and even your home decor, Hub can blend seamlessly into your home. Finally, we also wanted Hub to be a communal device, one that works for everyone in your home. So we trained Hub on Google's industry-leading speech recognition technology. By using voice match, Hub is able to recognize who is speaking to it, and it's able to provide a personalized experience for each and every user in your home. Today, 85% of Google Home users are using voice match. So by now, you're probably wondering how Hub works. So let me call up Mark, one of our product managers, to show you Hub in action.
Thanks, Dia. Hello, everyone. I'm excited to share with you a few examples how Hub fits into my home. Mornings are crazy for most of us, and having a little bit of help would be awesome. With Hub, I can just say, "Hey, Google, good morning."
Good morning, Mark. The time is 9 a.m. Currently in San Francisco, it's 64 and sunny. The best way to get to work by car is via US 101 South and will take 45 minutes. There are 11 entries in your calendar. By the way, remember to pick up eggs for dinner tonight.
Because Hub recognizes my voice, it tells me everything I need to know while I'm finishing up my cup of coffee. And in the evenings, Hub is great at helping me make dinner and relax. Google Home Hub is the best display made for the kitchen. So instead of fumbling around with your phone or the tablet while you have flowers on your hands or you're washing dishes or wearing oven mitts, you can simply use your voice to get help in the kitchen. You can set multiple timers. You can find out how many ounces are in a cup. You can even figure out what to cook for dinner tonight. My Hub gives me access to a huge library of recipes, including great dishes from Tasty. Tonight, I'm going to make 2 of the classics. Eggs Benedict with the French 75, #late night brunch. As you can see, with Hub, I can follow along step-by-step instructions to figure out how to make eggs Benedict. I can even watch a video to figure out how to poach an egg. Now, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about YouTube on Hub. The YouTube experience has been optimized, so I have access to a ton of how-to videos just by using my voice. Good example is I can say, "Hey Google, YouTube video, now Hub, hey Google, show me how to carve a pumpkin."
Playing how to carve Halloween pumpkins on YouTube.
It's a pretty epic pumpkin. And of course, Hub is great for enjoying music as well. With YouTube Music, you can easily find the perfect song, video, or artist. Hey Google, play something brand new.
All right, here's some music on YouTube.
All I have to do is ask, and I have instant access to the massive catalog of music and videos. By offering the ability to hear and see your music on Hub, it really brings the concert right to your home. Through December, Hub comes with 6 months of YouTube Premium on us, including ad-free videos and our new YouTube music streaming service. So we all know technology can make our lives easier and more fun, but sometimes it's really hard to disconnect and enjoy time with friends and family. Hub can help with that too. Just put Hub into downtime mode, and it won't interact with anyone in the house except for those critical things like alarms. It's a simple step, but it makes a huge difference. We're also introducing a set of tools to provide parents with a little bit of peace of mind. With filters, you can ensure that everyone in the home is enjoying family-friendly content. So, no matter if you're starting off your day, if you're learning something new, or if you're just chilling at home, Hub is there to help. Back to you, Dia.
Thanks a lot, Mark. As you can see, Hub can really help you simplify your home. But there's more. As Rick mentioned, we want to build a thoughtful home for our users. And where this comes to life the most is in how easy it is with Hub to set up, manage, and control your devices. You can even see the state of your entire home at a glance. It truly is the hub for your thoughtful home. So let me show you how. Today, I have a few different smart devices in my home: smart lights, thermostat, doorbell, and even a door lock. To be able to control and manage these devices, I have to go to multiple different apps. And if my husband wants to manage and control these devices, he has to go to the same apps. We have no one place to go to get the state of our entire home. Did we forget to turn down the lights and lock the door in the living room before going to bed? With Hub, we're introducing Home View. With a swipe down from the top of the screen, you can bring up a simple dashboard. The dashboard shows you the state of your entire home at a quick glance and provides you quick access to all your devices. This has been a radically helpful addition to my home. Home View was designed to be super easy and intuitive to use with a simple tap or with your voice. You can even see things by room, so you can turn down the temperature in the bedroom and turn up the music in the living room. It's now all in one place for the very first time and easily accessible by everyone in your family. And we're providing the same level of control even if you're not near your hub. We've redesigned the Google Home app to be the mobile controller for your smart home. It has the same Home View dashboard as Hub. So now you can control all your devices from any phone, even when you're not at home. Now, with Nest devices, we have all the tools in place to help take the experience of a thoughtful home to the very next level. So we made sure that Hub was deeply integrated with Nest devices, like Nest Camera, Nest Thermostat, and even Hello Doorbell. So for instance, if you're having dinner and someone happens to ring your doorbell, Hub will automatically show you who's at the front door. And you can tap a quick response or use your voice to let your guests know that you'll be right there. Many people have connected devices in their homes today, and they don't even know it. Hub can help with that. Home View lets you control over 200 million devices from over 1,000 brands, many of them in your home today. So now, with a simple tap or with your voice, you can control your dish hopper DVR, your Chromecast, your Vizio TV, and even your Philips Hue light bulb. With Home View, you have all the tools in place to help you build and manage your thoughtful home, whether you have a house full of connected devices like I do, or you're just getting started with your first simple smart light bulb. Now, we've talked a lot about what Hub can do, but what about when it's not in use? We designed Hub to be the world's best photo frame so that you could relive your precious moments on Google Home Hub. We do this via a deep integration with Google Photos. Google Photos has over 1.2 billion photos and videos uploaded every single day. So now you can select any album that you've ever created or that was shared with you. And we're introducing a new feature called Live Albums. With Live Albums, you can just select the photos of people that you want to see, and what we will automatically do is create a new album with all the photos you've ever taken of those people. Your photos also never get stale, because Live Album updates automatically every time you take new pictures. So it's been really amazing. Every time I walk by Hub and see a photo of my son or husband that I've forgotten about, it brings a smile to my face. And recently, we came home from a family vacation to show our photos already displaying on Hub. Hub also makes it easy to share live albums with loved ones. So now my parents can see photos of my son show up automatically in their home. Now, you also might be wondering, what about that blurry picture I took the other day? Will that show up on Hub as well? The answer is no. We use machine learning to only show your best photos on Hub. We automatically filter out blurry photos, underexposed photos, those random pictures of things like receipts, and even duplicate photos. Now, with Google Home Hub, you have a great way to actually relive your favorite memories. So you can pre-order Google Home Hub on the Google Store today for $149. And it's also available on October 22nd at retail locations here in the US, UK, and Australia. Google Home Hub is the perfect display to help you manage your thoughtful home and provide the help you need with a glance. Check out this video. Thank you.
Don't stop when I walk up on the tightrope. I can see things like a micro. Hey, go, go, hey, go, go. Don't stop when my heart spins like a cartwheel. The electric sparks that I feel. Hey, go, go, hey, go, go. Bim, bom, ba-da-ba-ba-da, bim, bom, ba-da-ba-ba. Hey, go, go, ba-da-ba-ba-da, bim, bom. All the people around say, oh, oh, I feel it. Oh, oh, I feel it. Hey, all the people around say, oh, oh, I feel it. Oh, oh, I feel it. Hey, all dig deep in the sound, say, oh, oh, I feel it. Oh, oh, I feel it. Hey, go, go. Hey, go, go. Hey, go, go.
Woo! All right. All right. As I mentioned earlier, Google's been obsessed with speed and relevance of the search information we can provide. We built this incredible search engine, but back then, browsers were just too slow. So then we built Chrome, a faster, more secure browser. But users still had to use our fast browser on their old, slow PCs. They took way too long to start up, they were a hassle to keep secure, and they just weren't optimized for the web and app experiences we use today. And we knew computing could be fundamentally better. So we developed Chrome OS, to represent a new vision for computing based on our core tenets of speed, simplicity, and security. Chrome OS brings together the best of Google: search, AI, and apps and services all in one place. Now, your Chromebook boots up in seconds, not minutes. It lasts all day, and it gets better over time. It keeps up with the many aspects of your life because work and play are fluid throughout the day. And that's why millions of people have used these devices in schools, homes, and businesses worldwide. Last year, Chrome OS took a big step forward with the introduction of apps from the Google Play Store, and also with the introduction of helpfulness from the Google Assistant. We tied this all together with the launch of Pixelbook, the high-performance Chromebook. Pixelbook reviews from both the press and customers have been fantastic. People especially love its beautiful, versatile design and its blazing fast speed. And today, we're sharing a new chapter for our vision for Chrome OS with the launch of Google Pixel Slate. Here's Tron to tell you a little bit more about it.
Thanks, Rick. Google Pixel Slate is a completely new experience, giving you powerful productivity in a fresh, mobile form. Something that isn't a laptop trying to be a tablet. Because who wants a fan in their tablet? Or a tablet that's really a phone pretending to be a computer. Instead, we combine the helpful elements of all of these devices to create a modern computing experience people have been asking for. We designed Pixel Slate to be both thin and light. It's crafted with beautiful lines and rounded edges in a stylish midnight blue. And it has a perfectly balanced center of gravity, so it's incredibly comfortable to hold. Pixel Slate is engineered with a stunning detailed display, so sitting back to enjoy a movie is better than ever. It has 293 pixels per inch. That's 6 million pixels for the sharpest picture in the category. When we put Pixel Slate in the hands of some of our most demanding YouTube creators, filmmakers who make movies in 8K, they raved about this display. Let's take a look at how they reacted to seeing their content on Pixel Slate for the first time.
We're looking for something that draws us in personally, that excites us.
As a creator, I spend a lot of time trying to just make sure our image looks the best it can be. To see the Pixel Slate representing that correctly is really awesome.
It's like you're taking the glass out of the window.
That's exactly how it's supposed to look.
To get to this level of quality, Pixel Slate uses a custom display with low-temperature polycrystalline silicon technology, which allows for 100 times faster movement of electrons versus a standard display. As a result, you can efficiently light up a massive number of pixels. Your movies, photos, and games will be stunning in vibrant colors and brilliant resolution. Now, a brilliant display doesn't mean much without great sound. So with Pixel Slate, we've positioned the speakers on the front of the device, so they can direct stereo sound towards you instead of out towards the walls or the floor. They deliver surprisingly big sound. We've also tuned our audio algorithms with a custom-designed profile that gives you crisp highs and clear lows. This combination of an amazing display and dual front-firing speakers gives you the best entertainment experience you can hold in your hands. It's also a great device for cord cutters, and nothing brings this to life better than YouTube TV. We're excited to give you 3 months of YouTube TV with the purchase of a new Pixel Slate or Pixelbook, so you get live TV from more than 60 networks, including sports and local news. Now, you heard Rick talk earlier about our deep history in imaging and computational photography. We're bringing some of that same innovative engineering to Pixel Slate's 8-megapixel front-facing and rear-facing cameras. Both cameras incorporate our machine learning algorithms, so you can take great photos, including portrait mode. We've also designed the front-facing camera to be perfect for video chat. It has a wide-angle lens, so you can fit everyone in the frame, and a sensor with larger pixels, which allows for excellent low-light performance. Pixel Slate represents a new chapter for Chrome OS. Let me show you how we've reimagined it for this new type of device. The UI is now optimized to be simple and easy to use on a touchscreen. It's a Chrome OS experience that's meant to be held in your hands. And at the same time, it gives you a full desktop experience, not one designed for a phone. You can work the way that you're used to working. You can even run developer tools and full-powered Linux applications. Check out the reconfigured launcher. Instead of hunting for the app you need, machine learning customizes the launcher just for you, suggesting the apps that you're most likely looking for. It's your own personal Google, right at your fingertips. You can easily multitask with features like split screen, which lets you seamlessly shift between work and play. And now, with Pixel Slate, the Google Assistant is even more deeply integrated within Chrome OS. Simply use your voice, and the Assistant can help you find a restaurant, dictate an email, or play your favorite show. Another helpful feature is Family Link. This helps you set digital ground rules for your family and gives you more control over how and when your devices are used. And when it's time to settle in for the night, our new Do Not Disturb and Nightlight features help you tune out distractions and gently adjust the color temperature of your display to help you wind down. Now, as you'd expect from us, Pixel Slate provides really powerful, hassle-free security. Virus protection is built in. The OS updates in the background, so you always have the latest security and features without any annoying interruptions. Pixel Slate also includes a tightened security chip, so your information, device passwords, and operating system are protected on your device. And to eliminate the fuss of typing your password, Pixel Slate's power button doubles as a fingerprint sensor, so you can unlock it just as quickly and securely as you do your Pixel phone. Just touch the top and you're good to go. All of these amazing new experiences on Chrome OS truly make Pixel Slate a perfect device for play and work. But a true desktop experience demands a great keyboard. So we created the Pixel Slate keyboard, the perfect companion to Pixel Slate. The keyboard connects to Pixel Slate in a snap. No pairing or charging needed. Just connect it and start typing. You'll love the way the Pixel Slate keyboard feels. Last year, TechCrunch said Pixelbook has the most satisfying keyboard to type on I've ever experienced. So we took everything great about that keyboard and put it in a folio. Its full-size backlit keyboard is incredibly comfortable to type on. The rounded hush keys are soft and quiet, so you won't be that person with the loud clackety keyboard. And the full-featured trackpad works just like you're used to. The folio is infinitely adjustable, so you can comfortably use it at any angle you'd like. Use it at your desk, on a plane, or at your kitchen table. And when you're done with work, it turns into a slim, protective case that you can take anywhere. Whether you're using Pixel Slate with or without the keyboard, there's a universe of apps to help you do more. G Suite is amazing on Pixel Slate. Our powerful productivity tools are used by more than 1 billion people worldwide. And people spend an incredible 74% of their time in these apps working together. With docs, sheets, and slides, you can collaborate and create like never before. Pixel Slate also uses the full desktop Chrome browser, so you'll never be limited by the mobile version of a site. And you can take complete advantage of the rich ecosystem of extensions and open as many tabs as you need to get work done. There are also millions of apps in the Google Play Store, from productivity to fitness to games and entertainment. We're continuing to work closely with Adobe and are pleased to launch the all-new Adobe Acrobat on Pixel Slate. It's a great example of how developers are optimizing their apps for Chrome OS. It lets you edit PDFs with precision, quickly fill out forms, and sign and annotate documents using the Pixelbook pen. We also have new apps launching focused on helping you stay healthy. One that I'm really excited about is Peloton, because it'll help me keep up with my workout even when I'm away from my bike. And when it's time to relax, enjoy your favorite shows on Netflix or experience millions of worlds with Roblox. So that's Pixel Slate, powered by the reimagined Chrome OS. It's designed to be as versatile as you are, with a desktop operating system, a full keyboard and trackpad, a brilliant display, and the mobility and app support of a tablet. Pixel Slate comes in several configurations, starting at $599. Pixel Slate Keyboard is $199, and Pixelbook Pen, now in matching Midnight Blue, is $99. All three will be available later this year on the Google Store and at major retailers in the US, Canada, and the UK. Pixel Slate is truly a no-compromise way to work and play. Let's take one final look at it before I go.
Finally, it's time to talk about phones. Google Pixel 3 is designed from the inside out to be the smartest, most useful device in your life. It's a phone that can answer itself, a camera that won't miss a shot, and is a whole new experience when it's charging.
Pixel 3 was built with exceptionally beautiful and thoughtful design choices. It feels great to the touch and light in your hand. The matte finish on the all-glass back is the first of its kind. It carries over our iconic two-tone design while providing a beautiful, silky texture that helps avoid fingerprints. We developed a new etching process that allows for both matte and glossy textures on the same piece of curved glass with smooth lines and seamless transitions. Pixel 3 comes in 3 colors: just black, clearly white, and a new color, which is not pink.
The new Pixel comes in 2 display sizes, the 5.5-inch Pixel 3 and the 6.3-inch Pixel 3 XL. Both of them share the same features, but we know users who want a bigger phone really want a bigger screen. So we've designed Pixel 3 XL's screen to extend all the way to the upper corners, giving users an edge-to-edge viewing experience with some extra useful space at the top. The flexible OLED is the best Pixel display ever. The new adaptive color profile provides a bright, vibrant viewing experience from any angle and in any lighting. Both phones have bigger screens than last year's Pixel and a larger screen-to-body ratio. They feel smaller and more comfortable to hold.
Our front-firing stereo speakers are 40% louder and richer than last year, perfect for a video call or for playing music by the pool. The custom sound profile was developed for Pixel 3 by a Grammy-winning music producer for stunning volume and clarity. To get the most out of this incredible audio experience, Pixel 3 is the first phone that ships with the new YouTube Music streaming experience. And we're giving it to Pixel owners on us for 6 months. Between the design, the display, and the powerful speakers, you'll love how Pixel 3 looks and sounds.
Everyone raves about the Pixel camera. And today, the smartest camera gets even better with the Pixel 3. It's so good, even professional photographers are shooting with it. We're excited to announce a new partnership with one of the most celebrated photographers of our time, Annie Leibovitz. For her latest project, she's using Pixel 3 to take photos as she travels around the country, capturing portraits of inspiring people and places. It's the first time that Annie has officially partnered with any camera, and we can't wait to unveil the series. And Annie is not the only professional choosing our camera. A few weeks ago, we gave the Pixel 3 to Condé Nast and some of the world's top photographers to shoot 7 magazine covers. Let's take a look behind the scenes. This is the first time that Condé Nast has used
We combine the images algorithmically to create an image that is brighter, more detailed, and more colorful. This technology is generations ahead of other smartphones. And all of this is happening on device. Pixel Visual Core is our custom-designed imaging chip that takes complex imaging and data crunching power out of our data centers and puts it on your phone. We built Pixel Visual Core into Pixel 3, making the camera even faster and smarter to power new, computationally intensive features.
No matter how great your camera is at capturing the finest details and reproducing the colors, you can still miss the perfect shot if you don't hit the shutter at exactly the right moment. Top Shot solves that problem. Let's check it out.
All right, come on, girls, get together. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I wasn't ready.
Let me try again. Ready? Go, go, go! Sorry, bro. Think of all we had before.
Oh, let's get a group photo.
Let me
Ready?
try once more. Oh, I did not get that. We can have it all. You and I again. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Let me try again.
Pixel 3's camera is smart enough to know a good photo when it sees it. Our machine learning is trained by analyzing millions of images, so it knows you want to see smiles instead of sneezes, photos where everyone in the group has their eyes open, and the perfect moment of shock at a surprise party. Top Shot automatically captures alternate shots in HDR+, so if your timing wasn't perfect, it'll suggest a better one. You can also scroll through the alternates and save one of those instead.
And then there's Super Res Zoom. Anyone who's tried to take a photo at a concert knows that phone cameras have terrible zoom. Instead of shooting a grainy photo, Pixel 3 shoots a burst of photos, each a bit different, taking advantage of the natural tiny movements of your hand. And you can guess what happens next. We run the variations through a merging algorithm to create a beautiful, zoomed-in shot, so you can get closer to the details and frame your shot the way you want. This technique of merging slightly different photos for higher resolution has been used in advanced astronomy research to surface the image of Mars, to image the surface of Mars. Pixel 3 puts this technology into a device you can hold in your hand.
Another feature that we're really excited about is night sight. Life's best moments aren't always perfectly lit. A party, a campfire with your friends, one last shot before the bar closes. The typical solution for low light settings is the flash, which makes a big scene, blinds your friends, and leaves you with an unnatural looking photo with uneven exposures and shadows. Night sight works so well, you'll never use your flash again. Let's take a look. In extreme low light, we turn to machine learning to choose the right colors based on the content of the image. These shots are completely untouched. Night sight makes Pixel the best low light smartphone camera. It's coming next month to Pixel 3 and our other Pixels as well.
You might have noticed the second camera on the front of the phone. Let's see what it does.
All right, you guys ready? Let's take a selfie. Here we go. Wait.
Move your head towards mine.
Scoot over, scoot over. My arms are not long enough, you guys.
Get in, get in, get in, get in, get in. Boys, we gotta back up just a little bit. Back up. Back up. Back up. Stay in the frame. Stay in the frame. Willow, just stay in the frame.
Guess where I am?
Oh, did you see that?
Move your arm. We're not gonna fit. We're not gonna both fit. Just move your arm. Move your
arm.
Just move over.
Hey, Mitch, could you scooch in? I'm trying to take a selfie.
Oh, wait, one sec. Oh. All right, 3, 2, 1. Smile!
Pixel users tend to get drafted as the official photographer, including for group selfies, and we want to help them be great at their job. So we added a second camera on the front that captures 184% more of the scene than iPhone XS. Now you can fit everyone in the shot without a selfie stick or unusually long arms like mine. Just zoom out. The difference is striking. You aren't just getting more people in the frame, you're getting more details, more scenery, more of a story.
For photos and selfies with even more story, we've got you covered. We've evolved AR stickers to what we now call Playground and built it into both the front and rear cameras. We've got lots of new content and characters, including the Avengers, in celebration of Marvel Studios' 10-year anniversary. These characters are rendered to feel lifelike in the scene, and they even interact with each other. Characters can now also respond to your actions and facial expressions. They look like they're really in the scene with you, for even more playful photos and videos. And here's a sneak peek at the childish Gambino character we're working on with Donald Glover, coming soon to Playground and exclusively to Pixel. Sorry, got a little excited there. Playground is launching on Pixel 3 and will be rolled out to Pixel 1 and 2 soon, with more content on the way.
And of course, Pixel 3's camera is for so much more than taking pictures. Last year, we introduced Google Lens, which helps you do more with your camera with what you see. This year, we integrated Google Lens directly into the Pixel 3 camera. Point it at a takeout menu, and Lens will pull out the phone number to call. Point at a movie poster to click through to the URL. Lens is now able to work instantly in the camera and on device for some of the most common actions, even without a data connection. This is only possible by combining Pixel Visual Core with our years of work in search and computer vision. Being able to search the world around you is the next logical step in organizing the world's information and making it more useful for people. And we've been doing that in some fun new ways, like with style search in Lens. So now when your friend's wearing a cool new pair of sunglasses, or you see some shoes you like in a magazine, you can use Lens to find them online and browse similar styles. It's one more way we're integrating our AI, software, and hardware to create the best end-to-end camera experience.
There are a lot of brilliant new superpowers coming in Pixel 3's camera, but we didn't have time to get through them all. I'm sure you don't want to sit through a 2-hour keynote. So here's a quick list of some of the other features you'll see in our demo area later.
Photo booth mode automatically snaps photos with a smile or when you make a funny face. No shutter button needed.
With motion autofocus, just tap on people, puppies, or anything else that won't hold still, and they'll stay in focus as they move around the frame.
We made a few enhancements to portrait mode. You can edit the depth of field in a portrait. You can also change the focal subject of the photo, or make the color pop.
And one of the best aspects of Pixel 3 is free, unlimited storage at original quality. You'll never have to worry about storing, syncing, or finding your photos. Pixel 3's camera is the best end-to-end photography experience ever on a smartphone. We can't wait for you to try it.
So what about when you're not taking photos? We designed Pixel 3 to take things off your plate, so you can spend more time enjoying the moment and looking at the world instead of looking at your phone. As Rick mentioned earlier, our new Google Assistant feature, powered by duplex technology, is able to help users with real-world tasks over the phone, like calling a restaurant to book a table. Pixel phones will be the first to get this Google Assistant feature when it rolls out city by city this month. Next month. One of these months. Next month. So stay tuned for details.
And we're going even further to help you with phone calls with our new call screen feature. Let's say you're at dinner with friends or in a meeting at work, and a call comes in. It could be something important, or it could be an offer for a free cruise. When you get that call and you can't or don't want to pick up, just tap the screen call button, and your phone will answer for you and ask who's calling and why. As you can see here, the conversation is transcribed in real time on your screen. You can decide whether to pick up, send a quick reply, or mark the call spam. You'll never have to talk to another telemarketer. This all happens on device, powered by Google's AI. Call screen launches today with Pixel 3 in the US and comes to the entire Pixel family next month.
And we all know what it's like to be overwhelmed by notifications. Sometimes you just want to disconnect entirely. So we've developed a feature we call Flip to Shush, an easy gesture to minimize distractions. Just turn your phone upside down on the table, and your Pixel will take the hint and mute sounds and notifications, so you can have a quiet dinner with friends or spend some time with your family. And finally, Pixel 3 includes our new Titan security chip. As Rick said earlier, Titan is a big step forward in how we safeguard our users' data with on-device protection for login credentials, disk encryption, app data, and the integrity of the operating system.
We have one last thing to show you. What if your phone could provide a totally different experience when it's charging? We're excited to introduce the smartest wireless charger ever, the new Pixel Stand. As a wireless charger, Pixel Stand is best in class. It charges your Pixel 3 super fast, even through cases. But Pixel Stand isn't just a charger. It changes the way you interact with your phone, thanks to the Google Assistant. When you dock your phone, the UI adjusts to be easily glanceable from across the room. You can control it with your voice or with one-touch suggestions on the display. In the morning, your Pixel 3 is a more thoughtful alarm clock. The screen will slowly brighten before your alarm goes off, so you can wake up more gently. And with help from the assistant, it knows your morning routine, the weather, and can easily answer your questions, similar to Google Home.
Play your music on Pixel's incredible front-firing stereo speakers, and the cover art is displayed on the screen. Pixel Stand also turns your Pixel 3 into a helpful component of your thoughtful home. You can easily control your connected devices around the house, and with Nest Hello, you can see who's at the door on your Pixel 3 screen. When it's not busy with other tasks, your Pixel 3 becomes a photo frame that delights you with automatically curated memories from your Google Photos library. Again, similar to the Google Home Hub experience you saw earlier. Pixel Stand transforms your Pixel 3, so you can get a more visual, helpful experience from your phone. It's the best way to wirelessly charge your Pixel or any Qi-compatible device. Pixel 3 is available for pre-order now, starting at $799, and Pixel Stand is $79. Pixel 3 will arrive on October 18th in the US through Verizon and unlocked on the Google Store and Project Fi. On November 1st, it will be available in 12 more markets, including 4 new ones this year: France, Ireland, Japan, and Taiwan.
And we also have a large selection of cases and accessories available from both Google and our partners. Check them out on the Google Store today. So that's the new Pixel 3. It's designed from the inside out to be the smartest, most helpful device in your life. It's a phone that can answer itself, a camera that won't miss a shot, and a helpful assistant even when it's charging.
Before Rick comes back up, enjoy this short film shot entirely on Pixel 3 by the amazing Terrence Malick.
I heard about this frog. It's a very tiny frog, but it's also very special. If you touch it, your world can change forever. Blue becomes red, and red becomes blue. Nothing is ever quite the same.
So there they are, the newest members of this year's Made by Google family. We're taking an end-to-end approach to consumer technology that merges our most innovative AI with intuitive software and powerful hardware. Made by Google devices empower people to do more with their day so they have to do less with their tech, and they can focus on what matters most. We've designed them from the inside out to give you your own personal Google, anticipating your needs, taking things off your plate. You got a first look at Titan security and how it's integrated into our mobile hardware for powerful protection in a simplified experience. And you've also seen how our approach to digital well-being is woven throughout the whole portfolio, from call screen to flip to shush, ambient EQ, and family link. We're taking our users' well-being very seriously. With Pixel Slate, we've built a Chrome OS device for the way you work and play today. It's a powerful workstation at the office, and it's a home theater you can hold in your hands. With Pixel 3, we've built the first phone that can answer the phone. And we've also taken the world's best smartphone camera and made it even better. With Google Home Hub, we've built a radically helpful smart display which lays the foundation for the truly thoughtful home. There's a whole lot more to these devices, and we're really excited for you to see that for yourselves in our demo area downstairs. For those of you on the live stream, please stick around to see our products and more in-depth demos online. And also, head over to our fresh new online store at this address behind me for full details, pricing, and availability. Really appreciate you being here with us today. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Recipes.
Load one arm up and bring it down, and we're gonna switch, okay?
I'm trying to get up and go, so if you're moving too slow, you better lay it down.
All right, welcome back to hour 15 of CNET's live coverage of Google's Pixel event.
Has it been that long?
It's been that long, you just fell asleep. You didn't realize how long they were talking about everything. We hope you enjoyed the live stream, which was filled with, yes, a lot of the stuff we already knew that was going to happen. But to your point, Ben.
Thank you.
To your very clear, lucid, and on-the-money point, they were able to keep it fresh and somewhat, maybe surprising is being generous, but compelling details about the hardware we already knew. So real quick off the bat, we did know everything that was going to happen, but they didn't talk about a new Chromecast, which
Maybe it was just too small of an upgrade.
maybe they ran out of time and they had to go.
But it exists, right?
I guess.
Somebody bought one.
Somebody bought a mystery Chromecast. Nevertheless, obviously the big story here are the new Pixel phones. And while we knew all about the specs and whatnot, I think what's surprising and kind of cool is some of the software features that are coming. There's Top Shot, which sort of uses AI to do like a cluster shot of all these different.
So you don't get that like derpy face.
Right. So which was I really loved how they introduced that. They had a gallery of derp faces, which I mean any press conference that features that is a win in my book. So they had that, and then they were going to use AI to determine which is the best looking photograph to sort of suggest to you. I thought that was cool. Super res zoom, which is something I can personally relate to if I'm at a hockey game or a concert and you're trying to zoom in and you take the thing and it just looks like mishmash. Hopefully that's going to be a little bit better. And man, they were talking some smack about this night sight stuff, where they're saying that the iPhone 10s can't even hold a candle to what, no pun intended, to what
the lighting,
to what the Pixel 3 can do in low light situations. So, I mean, that was kind of cool. Flip to shush seems simple. I feel like my phone already does that. Because at night I just go like this and it leaves me alone. Yeah, just go to bed, go to bed, go to bed. So yeah, I don't know. The screening call stuff, that was really cool too.
I was waiting for you to mention that.
What'd you think of that?
Well, when people constantly talk, when these tech companies constantly talk about the idea that we're addicted to our phones, we're going to give you all these additional tools and tell you when you've used your app for too long. One of the ways that you fall into the phone in the first place is that somebody beeps or buzzes you or whatever. So I like this idea of screening calls ahead of time, even if you're in a meeting or you're doing something else. Kind of makes it more kind of a digital personal secretary, I would think. I like that feature a lot.
I was on the let me see how they're going to do this after the duplex, right? And when you hit the please screen it, then it says something on the behalf of what? This is Google's service that is screening your call. Go ahead and say your name and why you're calling. So at least then, if you did suspect it was kind of shady, you can right there in real time see. And I like that. I mean, I'm interested to see how it sounds on the other side.
Yeah, totally.
And like, what if it's kind of like a different way of going, new phone, who's this?
No, what's super funny about it is like
what if it's your friends, like bro, Jeff, pick up.
Well, what's funny is like a lot of the times that I would probably use this is when I'm getting a call that I don't recognize.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the Pixel already has a thing where it's like, this is probably spam, don't pick it up. But now I could be like, oh, all right, hi robot, talk to my robot. And now we're just gonna have robots talking about it.
Until you accidentally do it to a friend, and they're like, "Oh, you didn't save my number? You don't know who I am? I've been Googled."
Yeah, but then you see that playing out in real time. You're like, oh my God, it's Bridget. I'm sorry, Bridget. I'm sorry.
It's worth mentioning though with robocallers, even having your robot Google answer the phone will compel them to call you more. So you do have to be a little bit careful
How do you know
using
that?
this.
How do you know that?
I thought
How do you
that's
know
what
that?
There is
happens.
truth to that.
That if you do pick up the call,
any indication whatsoever that
of
you're
engagement.
living, breathing.
Oh,
yes.
I just pick it up and I curse for 14 seconds at it and then hang up. You're saying that's bad?
Yes.
You
You're
shouldn't
not
pick it
supposed to
up?
do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to hang
just
up?
hang up, not respond,
It might not make a
block
big
it.
difference, but it definitely gives the other side an indication that this number does engage. What maybe it doesn't make a big difference, but it does put you on a list of
Something to
They
consider.
are alive and they're at that number.
Like there's a pulse at the end
Yeah.
of this phone. Okay, all right. Well, that sucks for me. All right. So what else did we hear about? We heard about. Let's talk about the Slate, the Pixel Slate. And again, we're going to try and get in touch with Scott Stein, who's at the Pixel event right now, depending on what he's up to. But back to the Pixel Slate.
The tablet.
The tablet, the first Chrome OS tablet. What do you guys think? I was on board until they said how much it was.
I was like, this is really getting into that, Surface territory with $600.
Right.
Want the keyboard, another $200.
Another $200 for that
Want a
keyboard?
pen, another $100. It is a lot.
So if you want everything that you saw there, you're looking at $800.
Most of us are doing our work on the web anyways, though. So
Yeah.
it had a lot of great features. I want to see how that keyboard feels.
Mhm.
'Cause
Yeah,
I think that's your deciding factor. I have to go to a store and feel it.
For me, it's like, all right, they are making the pitch for this to be a laptop replacement. That's fine. Is it as versatile? That Chrome OS ecosystem, I'm not very fluent in. I don't know what's there. I mean, I think if you were to somehow chart the amount of time you spend on your laptop using what, I think you'd find that a lot of that stuff does fall into the Chrome OS's functionality.
It had two
sort of.
cameras on it, didn't
Yeah,
it, too?
front and the back.
Right,
yeah.
right.
But who's this guy? It's not like, who does this? Hold still, I gotta get out of here, right? Who takes photos with tablets? Your grandmother.
Students?
No,
maybe?
crazy
No.
people do it. You see them at the baseball game, and they're just like, "What are you doing? Stop it! You have a phone." Anyway, sorry. I just, I want to know what is going to compel me to ditch something like this in favor of that Chrome OS tablet. Maybe it's the battery life.
10
Maybe-
hours,
is it-
not different than what I got. So
that's better than this thing, so I don't know. I'm hearing right now that Scott Stein is being beamed into the studio over the internet. Hi, Scott Stein.
Hello, I'm standing here in a room via the internet.
What's the internet like there?
It's very connected. I'm here in the demo room right after the Google event, where the Pixel Slate, the Pixel 3, the Pixel 3 XL, Google Home Hub, they're all around me. I haven't touched them yet. Looking forward to doing that.
If you want to try and touch one while we got you on the line, that would be hot. But I want to get your instant reaction from the announcements at the event. For a show that had no surprises, I think this kind of was, they did the best of what they could with all that software stuff about the Pixel specifically. What did you think? How did you find the show?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, again, there weren't that many surprises, but that has been happening with products now. I think the prices were a lot more aggressive than I thought. I mean, the Home Hub is basically you're like, I don't know what to get for the holidays, maybe I'll get that type of thing. And the Slate, which is right over here, actually, people are using it, but I really love the keyboard, but from what it sounds like on that, the adjustability, the backlit thing, I mean, we'll have to see how it feels. It's priced very much like an iPad Pro in terms of what you'd be paying. And yeah, the photo features on Pixel 3 sound like the exact ones that I would be looking for, minus the fact that there's no dual rear camera. Is that okay? I mean, Pixel 2 did fine without it. The wide-angle selfie is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, for the fact that I'm not a huge, I am a big selfie taker, but I mean, like that's really nice. The no flash at all that they're claiming with night mode is really interesting, and so yeah, I think those photo features sound really, really promising.
That $149 price point for the Hub gave us a really oh my god reaction. They are undercutting the Echo Show substantially.
Yeah, the Echo Show is $230.
I mean, it's not even it's not even close. And in terms of functionality, I mean, I think it's tough to make the case that you're better off getting an Echo Show unless you are somehow so ingrained in the Alexa universe that you have to have it. Have you been able to check that out, or have you seen it from across the room? I kind of want to get a feel for what that screen quality is like.
I do too. No, I haven't looked at it in person. You know, the products just started rising up right in front of me when they announced them. I was sitting right in front of the demo tube where they all rose up, and I tried to get near them, and then they sunk back down away from me. So, yeah, that as a YouTube box and photo frame, that's basically, that would be enough for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think like the selling points are easy to make for that one. Were you surprised they didn't do anything with the Chromecast?
I was pretty surprised. I thought I would hear something about that. I guess at this point they kind of like already basically announced it, and it's just going to slip out there. There was like a Bluetooth update to Chromecast that seemed like it had just kind of slowly emerged. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of surprised. It seems like this whole thing was just about lots of screens everywhere.
Yeah.
Despite digital well-being, your whole home is going to be filled with screens.
So you're the right person to ask about this. You go to the Apple events and now you go to the Android events, and I'm curious. You know, when you look at the Pixel 3, and then you look at what Apple did with the iPhone, the 10s and 10s Max. Which presentation left you with more of a compelling kind of reason to own either product?
I think in terms of software, Google's made more of an impression. I think that they always talk about the software hardware dovetailing, and I think there are new ideas coming forward with the crazy auto answering screening phone calls, and the ways that Assistant keeps stepping forward, even some of the stuff with AR and Lens, even though some of those may not be used, they're pushing towards new ideas. Whereas I think Apple is refining its hardware, and even though iOS keeps making advances, there really hasn't been all that much with iOS that's really been new and different. So I think that's the big difference. And then it's even like down to camera styles. Like I feel like Apple has been talking about things like camera sensor, the ISP. Google is talking about how their algorithms and computer vision equations are changing. So they said, okay, well, we're learning how to take photos better. So it does seem like some of those modes that they're promising are things that should be on other phones. I mean, things like the smart assistant to take better photos, the ability to pluck out a photo. Apple doesn't have anything like that built in, and so I think that's a really useful feature. But it would be nice to have a second camera on the back of the Pixel 3, I think.
Why?
To zoom in better, although here's the thing. If Google's intelligent, its AI-assisted zoom really works, maybe they're making the same statement they made last year with being able to do portrait mode without a second lens.
Right.
Saying that you only need one camera and the rest of it is gimmicks. So
interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, I think that could very well be the case. I just think it's nice to zoom in on things, to get closer. I don't really need it, but I find that I use it.
Yeah.
Most regular people, though, don't really care, I think, and most people don't have multiple cameras on their phones. So I do feel like Google is maybe acknowledging that and just saying the most important thing for Google and Android is to figure out how to take better photos via software.
All right, we're going to let you go. One last thing. I need to know what you think about this controversial mega notch on the Pixel 3 XL.
I'm fine with it.
It doesn't look that bad?
I don't know. I'm notch burned out. Like, I hated the notch last year.
Yeah.
Then everybody started making the damn notch. And now, whatever. Like, we're in notch land, right? So, it's fine. It is what, I mean, I feel like people are going out of their way to put notches on things now.
Yeah.
I've seen worse.
You've seen worse notches.
That's where we've gotten to.
We're living in a post-notch world. I get it. Thank you so very much, Scott Stein. You have been very helpful. Let us get you to go playing with all that stuff and bringing them back so I can play with them. Thank you very much.
I really liked some of the points that Scott made because I was thinking the same thing. We were talking during the presentation about how we use we use Google Apps because I have an iPhone, but I love Google Photos. I
Yeah.
love the software that they work on, their maps and such. And here, this presentation kind of feels more like about, oh, you want our phone? Here's how it works with your daily life, and here's your family, and we're picking the good photos. It's not so much about like, oh, look at the new hardware that's inside. It's about what you can do with it.
Yeah.
It's about living with it. And oh yeah, that hub, now we have a photo frame now too. So it's really family life oriented, I think.
It's super interesting how Apple doesn't, and again, not to make this just about Apple versus Google, but that's a conversation that matters. And Amazon versus Google and vice versa also matters as well. But it's interesting to notice, and again, like there's no watch here, right? Like so you could make the same argument, well, there's no watch talk because Google doesn't really have a flagship watch. But at the same time, in terms of like the centralized assistant hub, kind of brain that they're going for, Apple really doesn't have an answer to that. I think you could call Siri a distant third place when it comes to voice assistants. So it's just kind of interesting to see how that shakes out. What do you think, Ben?
I think that they marketed this very well. I agree with everything you said, Bridget, but at the same time, I was kind of left feeling with the Apple event and also this event that both of these phones, from a hardware perspective, were very incremental. I mean, like Apple's entire event was like, I'm not even sure what the big to do was about it. Yeah, there was no
Recently,
talking poop
like
emoji.
what was the 10? Yeah, there wasn't a talking thing of crap.
No, the big thing was the 10, and the 10S was
Right,
just
but
incremental.
what was the takeaway? I genuinely can't remember.
It's because there wasn't one, really.
Right.
You know, they were like, we made everything a little bit better. So
And
I think
you're right, it's the same thing here. Maybe there's more software bells and whistles.
So that kind of goes to Bridget's point in that, okay, we're struggling to try to figure out how to make this hardware markedly different or markedly better.
Right.
So we're going to try to tell you, here's where it fits into your life. Here's how you can kind of use it and make your life a little bit easier. And I think Google's selling this stuff was a little bit better than Apple.
And a lot of the software is going to older Pixel phones too,
Yeah.
which makes you fall more in love with what Google's doing for its customers.
I mean, that brand definitely has this club kind of feel to it. I mean, you look at the starting prices, it's very competitive. The Pixel starts at, what is it, $799 for the 64?
So about 800, yeah.
Right. And then goes up from there.
And the stand, 80, not 100 or
yeah,
more.
The stand is $79. That seems, this might be a little,
it's
a little steep.
I'm not buying that stand.
But it's wireless charging. That doesn't come for free, you guys.
You know what I liked, and another thing, a photo feature we're talking about?
Sure.
The autofocus to follow around a dog or a kid as they're running around. A lot of that matters more to people than having a second camera, I think. Because it's just about, I don't care to maybe change my settings, I just want that shot. And when they showed all the mistake face captures, you can also pick, which one you like. I mean, that's really important.
I think Apple is, and all the manufacturers that put two lenses in the back of their phones, I think they're having a tough time explaining why that is better.
You can still do the blur background in the Google Pixel, but how is it different?
Two is more than one. I feel like is the biggest talking point right now.
Well, hey, they got two cameras in the front.
There's two. It's got to be better.
No. There's still two cameers. There's two cameras in the front.
Yes, for the wide angle. That's a wide angle thing.
So it's a whole different twist. It's something that really sets them apart.
Which is,
it's
to
creative.
me, a genuinely practical application and use of that. So that's why you got that big honking notch. It's for your wide angle group selfie.
Yeah. If Google felt like it was really important to add the second camera in, they would have done it by now. We're now onto the third generation. This is a very typical thing that they have in a lot of flagship phones, so they must feel really confident with where they are, and they're not worried that people aren't going to buy this thing because they've only got one camera in the back.
Right. What do you think was a letdown about this show? Was there anything that they came up a little short on?
They've always had competitive prices, but I did wish that the Slate, I wish that was cheaper because, they
did seem to introduce aggressive pricing structures for all of these products, except for the Slate, which kind of feels like this expensive thing that I probably don't need.
We're in a time where they have to give a new reason to buy a tablet. And so the high-end tablets, whether it's the Surface or the Pro for the iPad. It's about having that flexibility of, okay, I can have a keyboard there, but
Right.
I want to see a test between how these keyboards feel.
Sure. Ben, where'd they come up short?
I'm still a little surprised that they didn't include a camera in the Home Hub. I almost feel like it's an admission from a major tech company.
I'm so opposite of that.
I know you guys are probably going to disagree with me.
It should have a camera because you could always put tape on it. You could always do whatever.
If you want one,
the thing's listening to you.
This thing has a camera. The thing you have in your pocket.
I realize, but the whole idea is to keep this thing in a room static and just kind of like.
You want to have a phone conversation?
You know how I read
in
it?
the
I would
kitchen?
do a duo voice call, 100%.
My reading on it was, look, guys, we know you don't trust us, and you don't trust us to the point that we're going to take out a piece of hardware. You know, like we're not even going to do the little physical shutter anymore. We're just going to get rid of it because people kind of think this is creepy or there are a lot of privacy issues.
I don't think it needs it, but to me, it's just like put it in there.
It's
I mean,
kind of
maybe
a future-proof
Maybe
thing.
it's not a 149 product then. What do you mean?
It's you future-proof the product by making sure that you include
next
a camera.
version
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right, exactly, because a lot of the improvements come from software. So who's to say if there's going to be a killer app that comes along a year or two from now that uses the camera?
I wouldn't put it in every room then. I'd put it in the kitchen only if I had a camera. I wouldn't put it in the bedroom like they said. So
yeah.
I really was, okay, something else that Google does well, their design. It's true, they did talk about that, but man, they do have pretty products, and I'm a little bit of a sucker for that pink and mint, although, is the phone called not pink? Is it actually, like, that's the name? Like,
it's a coral.
It's a coral. It's a salmon.
If the official name is not pink, that's a turnoff. I don't know what they're
I
gonna
could just
call
see
it.
like that becoming a little confusing.
Yeah, but
like what color do you want?
It's a very
not
pale pink.
Sure,
Yeah.
we decided you don't want pink, but what color would you like?
not pink.
Again, we've established that. It's just like a who's like a who's on first.
It's a
kind of
Monty
thing.
Python episode.
Abbott and Costello coming back.
When I checked out the Google Home speaker, they tried some of these demos at a press event where they would be like, oh, look, you can get cooking instructions just by talking to the speaker. Next step. And there were times where it didn't exactly always go perfectly, but if you had a screen, I can see that, I went into this going, I don't want another screen. I don't want this Home Hub. Too many screens in your life. And then I'm like, ooh, it's not a bad price. There's no camera. So I kind of was won over a little bit. I gotta
There's something
say.
about it. They did make a compelling case with the cooking stuff. It just seems that like, if you don't have a clock in a room, spend another $100 and have like a super capable, high-functioning thing connected to the internet.
I know what's going on.
Okay.
They want to have a touch screen voice assistant because they think that, okay, if it's always on and there's always a display available, we're going to really push forward the concept of voice shopping. So you're like, oh, I need to get milk, or oh, I need to buy new socks or whatever. You're going to use this thing and shop through Amazon or Google or whatever. That's why I think they're really trying to push this concept of the
and I think they're in a position to
smart
do it.
assistant plus a touch screen. And they've been pushing it a lot.
And I think they are more in a better place to do it, positionally speaking, because it all comes back to your email. Like, because because your email is like the central nexus of your entire in and out life, right? Like everything comes in through that Gmail account. So, and they base a lot of their smart assistant stuff off of things that come into your inbox.
Right, your incoming flight, your incoming package.
And look, so where Amazon has the leg up in terms of like what you like to shop for and what you like to browse for, Google is still in that intermediary because they're going to get the email from Amazon that says your crap is shipped. You know what I mean? Like, this is like they are.
It's very smart. Yeah,
they are in a very good strategic, geographical, if that makes sense in how I'm trying to explain it, situation.
They did something interesting that will play out this holiday for gift buying. They brought back the electronic photo frame by automatically.
It's a side feature.
No, that is going to be like for some people getting their parents into it, getting their family into
buying
it.
one of these things,
It's going to be, hey, automatically you can see everything in my shared Google Photos from our family trip. Oh man, they just made it easy. And then, oh yeah, by the way, you can also do other things too, Mom and Dad.
It was a nice dig at Amazon too, that they said it's optimized for YouTube because now you have to do this kind of like
Workaround.
janky workaround with a browser, using it for the Echo Show. So
I don't need
they
to
know
watch
that.
YouTube necessarily, but I can get it for an instructional video. I know.
Yeah, it's useful. It's another reason to buy the product, and when it's a little bit harder, it's just a little bit more friction to do it on an Echo Show, there's another reason to buy this product.
Amazon is centered around shopping. Google is trying to be centered around like your life more.
And for the most part, for me personally, I find that working. Like we said, you have Google apps on your iPhone, you don't have Apple apps on your Google phone.
I have
right?
no,
So-
I am all about Google inside of this iPhone.
Totally. So it's living a lie. So that's really kind of impressive to me. Like, I think for me personally, I'm getting real granular here because I am very much ingrained into that ecosystem. I don't love the way they do reminders and tasks and stuff. I still want that to be more flexible and malleable to what I personally use it for. But I think with this ecosystem, we'll get there. Let's turn to Twitter real quick one more time before we have to say goodbye because we've got lives to lead. Let's see. Ricardo says, what model is the best option, Pixel 3 or Pixel 3 XL? Thinking of getting Project Fi. Do you have any experience with Project Fi?
No,
Is it Fi or Fi?
I would say Fi because
Like
the Wi-Fi.
I thought it was Fi.
Well,
Oh,
why-
no.
Fi,
You're
fi,
right.
fi,
You're
fi.
right.
No,
Wi-Fi, Fi.
I have no experience with that. I'm very curious about Google Fi.
I have, so James Martin, one of our staff photographers, he uses it. We were traveling in Greece for an assignment.
Now that's in Europe.
Yes.
Okay.
It is. And it was a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Just got right off of the airplane, and Google sent him a notification that said, hey, we
You're
noticed
all
you're in
good,
Greece
yeah.
and you're fine.
Yeah.
Which is a huge advantage to,
Oh, yeah.
to using it, that you don't have to like all of a sudden call Verizon, or they're going to start charging you $50
Sure.
for every megabyte or whatever.
All right, so you can endorse their global data plan.
Yeah, it's very, very positive.
Nevertheless, Ricardo asks which option is the best. I think between the Pixel 3 and 3 XL, there doesn't seem to be that much difference in terms of specs and whatnot. Obviously, the screen size being the whole thing. So maybe that's a preferential kind of.
I would agree.
Do you want the big honking screen, or do you want a notchless, tinier screen? That's really where it's at. For me personally, I have the XL right now, and I don't know if I can go smaller than this. So, but I would like to see this side by side with the 3 XL. And hopefully I'll be doing that later today. All right, what else we have on the tweets? Anything compelling that's jumping out?
Not a lot of questions, but there was that moment one user is talking about where there was a presenter and it just kind of didn't do the Google Assistant demo quite right. And,
Sure.
And it just showed to me that, yeah, these things aren't actual live demos. These are PowerPoint slides.
Sometimes they are, I feel like.
It looked like the way it happened.
He looked like he got ahead of it. Or behind it.
Or he was waiting for it, then it went too fast, and so it didn't even hear him. So these things are kind of set up,
Sure,
to
sure.
be presentation style. You
Right.
know, I guess
Some of the smoke and mirrors, maybe we
Yeah.
got to see behind the curtain a little bit.
We've seen a lot of demos get screwed up on
Yeah.
stage, so
This is
I don't
pretty low on
really
the
blame
screw up
them.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I think that's all the time we have. Bridget, Ben, thank you so much for being here. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Would you want to do it again, maybe, or?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah?
Maybe when there are more surprises
Okay.
next time.
Hopefully next time we'll
Maybe
just...
they'll have a teal Pixel next time.
It'll be called Not Teal.
Yeah.
Not Aqua. Thank you so very much. Keep it here. CNET.com is going to have all the reviews of all the new products that are announced today that we already knew about. And thank you so much for tuning in live. We'll see you next time.
Android, Waymo, YouTube, you should be watching Alphabet City. It's the show that covers Alphabet from A to Z. What's Alphabet, you ask? Let me Google that for you.
Alphabet is mostly a collection of companies. The company would consist of Google as well as other businesses including X, Capital, and GV.
I know it sounds like a lot, but we'll explain it all on Alphabet City.